This is Appalling News, your most trusted source for fake real news. I'm Paul Chatto. Let's start with Canada's loony left coast. This will not happen again. Vancouver Park Board apologizes for hosting Harry Potter event. The Harry Potter A Forbidden Forest experience put on by Warner Brothers Discovery Global Experiences is scheduled to begin on November 7th, 2025 in Vancouver. However, a motion calling on the Vancouver Park Board to officially apologize for hosting an upcoming Harry Potter attraction passed Tuesday in a unanimous vote. Members of the city's transgender, gender diverse, bigender, agender, gender fluid, demi-boy, demi-girl, demi-flux, gender queer, intergender, non-binary, gender free, gender void, Krista gender, gray gender, Xena gender, butch and two-spirit communities, after they stopped laughing, had expressed concerns about the decision to partner with the event this holiday season due to its association with J.K. Rowling, author of Harry Potter. To the best of our knowledge, the event is still on, but the park board is officially apologizing for partnering up with Warner's for providing a spectacular evening of joy to the vast majority that a tiny band of humorless, sad, angry, transactivist psychopaths object to. This has been a difficult thing for a lot of us, Rob Hadley told CTV News. The fact is, we don't want to stand in the way of kids having a fantastic Christmas experience. Sorry, Rob. Yes, you do. The issue lies in the question of revenues going to someone who is a transphobe. Not only is J.K. Rowling not a transphobe, she isn't taking a penny from this event because Warner's licensed its use decades ago. We hope Rob isn't anyone's tax consultant. In addition to issuing an apology, Tuesday's motion put forward by Commissioner Tom Digby asked the board to reaffirm its support for inclusionary policies and to ensure the 2S LGBTQ+ Advisory Committee is consulted in any future events with equity or human rights implications. Because when you think of family fun, the first thing that comes to mind is letting the rainbow Nazis tell you what events to book. We guarantee you that if it was drag queen pole dancing lessons for 5-year-olds, Tom Digby and Rob Hadley wouldn't have any issues with it. They might even be headlining it. Off to our favorite loony bin, the UK, we have this. Green councillor demands pardon for witches executed over misogyny. Green Party councillor Stuart Jeffrey has demanded the pardon of 17th century witches who were executed for misogyny, not magic. Jeffrey, the leader of Maidstone Borough Council, has written to Shabana Mahmood, the Home Secretary, requesting legislation to pardon women executed under the 1562 Witchcraft Act. He said the women, including 7 hanged at Penedin Heath, were executed because of their social status, gender, and perceived nonconformity, and that their deaths were acts of murder. The council, led by a coalition of Lib Dems and Greens, said it was pushing for the pardon as it would create safer, more inclusive communities for the future. So, are they implying that there are witches? Do the Rainbow Nazi plan on adding a W to the 2SLGBTQW+? Will they have to update the trans flag? Certainly, the corpses, dead for 500 some odd years, will be relieved to know Mr. Jeffrey and company have devoted so much valuable time that could have been spent on more pressing issues that affect the living. Mr. Jeffrey drew parallels between women executed for witchcraft and those persecuted for same-sex relationships. Ha ha! And there's the rub. All modern grievances have to be shoved through the rainbow Nazi victimhood lens. Curiously, there was no demand of J.K. Rowling to apologize for her witchophobia. Jeffries said a pardon could be granted in a similar way to Turing's Law, passed in 2013 and named after mathematician Alan Turing, which gave posthumous pardons to thousands of people convicted of homosexual acts. The difference is homosexuals exist, whereas witches don't. How does he know the witches weren't trans women, and the communities were so fed up with them, as we are, is why they burned them. But by establishing the fact witches were women, he has answered the most perplexing, unanswerable question in the universe. What is a woman? Of course, we know the answer. A woman is a duck. Finishing off with this story, illegal migrant school chiefs sorted past revealed. Sex, lies, and DEI payouts. Des Moines all-Democrat, all-female school board hired a new superintendent based purely on DEI. Not only was Ian Andre Roberts an illegal alien and a fugitive from justice, he lacked the basic education and experience to lead the state's largest school district, which, by DEI standards, meant he was overqualified. Roberts charmed the panties off the female board, ignoring the fact he was a fraud. Unfortunately, competence starts with a C, and there ain't no C in DEI. The school district superintendent arrested by ICE this week lied about attending MIT and was the subject of 2 sex discrimination lawsuits. A snappy dresser, Ian Andre Roberts, 51, was fired by Des Moines Public Schools after it emerged that he was working illegally and had been avoiding a deportation order. Roberts spent over 20 years bouncing around the nation's education system, holding top posts from coast to coast. Originally from Guyana, Roberts had been ordered deported back during the Biden administration. He was arrested by ICE on September 26th after attempting to flee officers and was found hiding in brush. The school-owned vehicle he was driving contained a fixed-blade hunting knife, a loaded Glock, and $3,000 in cash. And those in the community who were pleased with his hire from a DEI perspective were reluctant to address it or didn't see it. It turned out the address of the recruitment company that vetted Roberts was an abandoned Hasty Mart in a strip mall. This is appalling news, and that's the way it is.